Hi, this is Grandma Laurie. Today's story is The Frog in the Water Bowl. Flip was a lively frog. He jumped from here to there all day long, and sometimes into the night. He knew every inch of his neighborhood, so he was able to stay out of trouble. Most of the time. Flip was talking to his little brother Flop when Flop asked, "What was the worst trouble you've gotten into?" Flip sat back and said, "Oh, there were several times. For instance, I almost got caught by a young boy down the street. There were several times when I almost got run over by a car. And then there are the animals." "What's the best time you've had so far?" asked Flip. "It was a while back. I was just hopping across the backyard, catching mosquitoes as they buzzed around," Flip said. Flop closed his eyes. "That sounds like heaven." It really was. The night was coolish and the moon was just coming up. I ate so much I thought I'd never eat again, Flip said, remembering. "But then," said Flip, "the backyard suddenly was full of life. Several dogs came racing out of the house and started barking." "Oh no!" cried Flop. "Don't worry, they weren't barking at me. They saw a bunny hopping across the backyard," Flip said. "It was smart and it started hopping toward the fence when it heard the door start to open, so it didn't get caught." Flop said, "Phew, I was so worried." "Bunnies are smarter than dogs most of the time," said Flip. "What happened next?" said Flop, leaning forward. He really loved Flip's stories. "I made myself as small as possible and hid among the flower pots on the porch so they couldn't see me," Flip continued. "Eventually they went inside." "Well, that's good," said Flop. "Then the most interesting thing happened," Flip said, after taking a sip of his honey tea. "I jumped out of the flower pot and landed in the water." "Was the house next to a lake?" asked Flop. Flip laughed. "Oh no, it was the dog's water bowl." "Oh!" cried Flop. "I didn't know how I was going to be able to get out. The bowl was too small for me to get any leverage. I thought my goose was cooked," Flip said. "Then what happened?" Flop was leaning even closer to Flip. "I heard the back door open, and I was afraid it was the dogs," said Flip. Was it? asked Flop. "No, it was the lady of the house," Flip said. "She gently picked me up out of the water bowl and took me around the house to the gate, where she set me down outside the gate." "Phew!" cried Flop, sinking back in his chair. "That was a close one." "It was," said Flip, "but it was so nice of the lady. She talked to me while she was carrying me. Her voice sounded so nice, and she didn't do anything but try to comfort me so I wouldn't be afraid." "Wow! That really was a nice experience," Flop said. "Who knew humans could be so friendly?" "They're really not bad. Most would rather help than hurt," Flip said, thinking back to the lady. "Let's get some dinner," added Flip. "All this talk of jumping around has made me hungry." "I'm in," Flop said, following his brother to the backyard. This has been Grandma Laurie. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad you did. The illustrations can be found in the link in the description box. Thank you.